I never said that all the games were going to be new ones. Let's play some Super Mario World! Why? Because I want to, darn it. After the crap show that all the other games have been recently, in this 25 Games of Christmas countdown, I deserve something. And Super Mario World will provide that for me. In case you guys don't recall, Super Mario World was my 13th Let's Play back in the day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Welcome, this is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we find that Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. Lot of use of the words land and again. Just saying. Just saying, whoever wrote this. Just saying. Super Mario World is deemed by many the greatest 2D platformer of all time. And wow. Let's pretend that didn't happen. And to be honest, I can't really say it's not. It's a fantastic game. And in terms of 2D platformers, there might be one better that I could think of right off the top of my head. But apart from that, I can't really see that there are ones better than it. But unlike some of the other games that we've played, this one I know a little too well. Not just because I've Let's Played it, but I do make the rounds of playing Super Mario World almost at the same length that I used to play the original Kingdom Hearts. So pretty much once a year, I'll sit down and I'll play the original Mario World. Usually on an emulator or the Virtual Console. Or sometimes on my Game Boy, because I do have the Super Mario Advance 2, which is Mario Brothers, the fixed and defined version of Mario Brothers, as well as Super Mario World. But no, it's a pretty straightforward game, so I guess we could finally get back to talking about stuff that we haven't really gotten over, because, see, we've talked about food, we've talked about, well, not all, like, about specifically decorations or anything, but we've talked about that, we've talked about presents. You know what, there actually is something I could talk about, because I had a bit of a friendly, if you will, debate with okay, I'm gonna assume, as many of you know, I am a channel that is for everybody. So, children, adults, but mostly adults, are the ones that are watching my videos. And because of that, I'm pretty sure the majority of us know that a certain figure of the Christmas holidays is not exactly living, if you will. And I don't mean like dead or anything, I mean like doesn't exist. I'm not gonna say who, in case there are children present, but I had a debate with my coworker about whether or not this particular person exists, and, more importantly, if we should be telling our kids the same way our parents told us. And my coworker, she was more along the lines of saying, "Oh, I'll never do that. I'll never lie to my children about something like that." And I'm like, "Well, good for you, but don't forget that means you're gonna, like, well, think about it, like, does that mean you're gonna tell the truth about everything? Like, literally every last thing that your child will encounter, you're gonna tell them the blunt truth about it? Or are you gonna sit there and say, oh, well, this is achievable. The American dream is still achievable, even though for many of us it's not. or something along those lines, and she's like, oh, well, I'm like, exactly, you don't think these things through. You're just angry that our parents told us something when we were kids, and we thought it was true, and it ended up not being true. And there can be consequences to that, mostly positive, but there can be a few negative ones. But, like, I've even seen people on Facebook make the same argument where it's like, oh, I'll never lie to my children. Oh, I'll never do this. I'm like, so you're really going to sit there and you're going to tell them the blunt and honest truth about what the world is? And when they're like, no, I'm like, that's what I thought. So get off your moral high horse and stop pretending that you're gonna be like, you're like this super evolved parent who isn't going to lie or anything. Because look, I love my parents. May not always get along with them, but I love my parents. Both have done right and wrong by me in many ways, shapes, and forms in my life. But I'm not gonna hold a grudge because they told me something when I was a kid and I believed it. In fact, true story about me, for the first few years of my life, I was not, shall we say, developing at the same rate that other kids of my age were. So I had to go to a ton of different schools. Like, I wasn't talking, I wasn't, like, advancing through classes, my parents were worried about me. They thought I was gonna be a little difficult to manage. And one of the instances of this was, I thought for most of the first few years of my life that at a certain point, we just stop aging. And my mother never sought to correct this, because I used to always say, like, whenever someone would say, how old is my mom? And my mom would tell me the story that she was 28 when I was born, so I'm like, okay, so my mom's 28. And everyone's like, oh, wow, your mother's 28? That's crazy. Because, like, you're factoring in that I'm getting older and older and older, and if something pops up and it says, oh, really, your mother's 28 years old? And, like, you're thinking about it, like, how young the mother would be if, as old as I was getting. Hell, if it kept at that rate, like, by the time I was, like, 10, wow, my mom would have been, like, 18 when I was born. That'd be friggin' crazy. But my mother never sought to correct it. And ultimately, one day when we went to the bank, when we were food shopping one day, she kind of, the bank teller actually spilled the beans, and yeah, I was hurt, but I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. In the long run, I make fun of her now because now it's all really, you couldn't have told your kid who you thought was gonna need and require special needs was gonna be all incapable of understanding the process of aging. But basically from that point on, I sort of took off. I mean, I taught myself how to read. I taught myself how to do a lot of things, basically. I was very thankful that my parents were so obsessed with my sister growing up that it was like, I flew right under the radar for the most part. After that, they're like, hey, are you alive? Yeah, cool. Bye. Bye. Now, of course, everyone's worried about me again, and I don't like that. I don't like being the focal point of attention. You guys know that. You guys know that better than anybody. But no, like, I'm not gonna hold a grudge against my parents for that. Neither am I gonna hold a grudge against my parents for, like, sheltering us from, like, the harsh truths of life. Like, kids, when we're kids, that's, like, the only time we really get to enjoy life. Hell, I used to always want to be the adult one day, where I can make all the decisions for myself. And you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I want to go back to being a kid. I want to go back to having waffles for breakfast every day, and waffles for lunch, and waffles for dinner. Hell, I'll even take friggin' punishments again. But no, I'm an adult now. Oh, I thought that said something about how we couldn't bring Yoshi into the castle, and I'm like, oh, that would be an interesting little tidbit of why Yoshi's not with us. I know in certain bootlegs of Mario World that Yoshi does actually come with you into the castle. There are like little... I don't remember if it was the one for the Super Famicom or not, but I know there is one that does that. And wow, I can't believe we're done with... I can't believe we're done with Yoshi's Island. And we're only 11 minutes into the video. Hell, I could actually keep going. And I think I might, actually. We've been doing a couple of hit and miss videos here. There were some that weren't as long as I would have liked them to be. So hell, I'll use some extra time here. Mario has defeated the demented Iggy Koopa in Castle Number 1 and rescued Yoshi's friend, who is still trapped in an egg. Together, they now travel to Donut Land. Alright, let's keep going. Let's just go to... Let's see if we can learn some flying stuff, you know? Right, Yoster? Oh, I forgot. Spin jumps automatically kill those flying Koopas. Oh, well. Excuse me. And there we go. No! Charge and Chuck, go away. Yoshi, come back! There we go. That's better. Really? I thought I'd be able to get more than that. Oh well. Oh well. That's to be expected, I suppose. Oh, and there goes Yoshi. Bye, Yoshi! But no, getting back to the holiday thing, it's like... I don't know, it's weird. Look, if you want to lie to your kids about it, that's your prerogative as a parent. Just understand that when they question one unquestioning thing from their childhoods, they're gonna start questioning other parts of it, so... If you're gonna, use caution, because in the future they could become jackasses that have YouTube channels. And begin to question their own mental health, among many other things. Wow, I collected all these... Oh, there they are. I was about to say, I'm like, really? Did not seem like I collected that. It really does not seem like I collected this many coins, but... I mean, I won't argue. I won't argue. Makes my job easier. Alright, we are approaching the time limit for this, so... May as well just finish this episode out. As we get closer and closer every day to Christmas, guys, I really hope you guys have gotten your lists together so Santa can get you everything you want. The irony of that statement, considering the whole topic of this episode. But whatever. Alright, I will see you guys for the next game. I don't know what it's going to be. Either Link's Awakening, Metroid 2, or... hell, something else. I don't know. We'll meet again, my lovelies. Sayonara.